Good afternoon. It is September 2nd. We are at Hudson High School in the East Gym. We're having our first scrimmage today with teams from around the area. It's a quadrangular is what they call it, 4 teams on 2 courts. We have our girls here from Hudson, we have Durand, we have Somerset, and we have New Richmond. None of these teams are in our conference, but it is nice to get some games under your belt before you do play some of your conference matches. Hudson took second in the conference last year. They're hoping for another good year. Lots of new girls on the team this year. Graduated a lot of seniors. We are about ready to start. The teams have gathered on their courts. The refs are getting in position. It will be just a moment. Girls from both teams are taking their court. Court in this position. I can't quite get the whole thing, but I'll do the best I can to follow the action. The first match for Hudson will be against Durand. Durand is serving first. That's a point for Hudson. I'm right under an air vent. I hope that does not bother any of the... that's an ace for Kat. I hope the air vent does not interfere with your enjoyment of the game. That's the first ace of the season by Kat Malin. Ball is served out of bounds. Hudson has 2, Durand has 1. Ball finds the back corner, point for Durand. They're calling a redo. Ball from the other court has crossed over into our field of play. The score is still at 2. Natalie gets the point. Substitution being made. Morgan is coming in for the libero, Katie. And the next server is Alicia. It's an ace for Alicia. Player in the net on the Hudson side. Point for Durand. Libero goes out. The libero comes back in. Alicia goes out. Drops in on the Hudson side. The score is tied at 4. That hits Rachel's shoe, which counts as a touch, so that's a point for Durand. Hudson unable to get that over the net. That one hits the basketball net that is hovering above the net of the volleyball court. That means it is a point for Durand. That's a lift being called on Hudson. Durand has 8, Hudson has 4. Rachel hits that one on the outside of the antenna. That's a point for Durand. Hudson is calling a timeout. Natalie hits that one out of bounds. That's a point for Durand. Block at the net, but it's recovered. Ball is hit out of bounds. Point for Hudson. Substitution being made. Jennifer is coming in for Lindsay, and Kirsten is coming in for Rachel. Next server is Kirsten. Natalie finds the line for a point. Ball is served out of bounds. That's a point for Durand. Durand has 11. Hudson has 6. Nice dig by Kirsten. Ball is hit out of bounds by Durand. That's a point for Hudson. Next server for Hudson is Natalie. Morgan hits that one out of bounds. Point for Durand. Substitution being made on the Durand side. Durand has 12. Hudson has 7. Pushed back over the net by Duran for a point. They're calling that a redo. The line judge did not see if that was in or out, so they will be redoing it. That's an ace for Durand. Past the blockers, that's a point for Durand. Durand has 15, Hudson has 7. Jennifer makes that point. Morgan goes out. Alicia comes in. The next server is Katie, the libero. Ball fails to get over. That's a point for Hudson. Lift is being called on Hudson. Point for Duran. The down ref has got a question. Clarification on who did the lift. The down ref pointed to Jennifer. That's an ace for Duran. The substitution being made. Natalie is going out. Cammie is coming in. Ball drops in on the Duran side. Nice little block by Alicia and Jennifer. Substitution being made. Kirsten is going out. Rachel's coming in. Lindsay is coming in, and Jennifer is going out. Durand has 17. Hudson has 10. The next server is Lindsay. That's a kill by Kat. Kat puts that one into the net. Point for Durand. Durand has 18. Hudson has 11. Point for Hudson. Substitution being made. Natalie is coming in for Cammie. Kat is the next server. Durand fails to get that over the net. Point for Hudson. Durand has 18. Hudson has 13. That's an ace for Kat. It's a point for Hudson. Timeout being called on the Durand side. One timeout has been called for each team so far. Durand has 18. Hudson has 15. Net serve by Kat. It's a kill by Rachel. The libero goes out. Morgan comes in, and the next server is Alicia. That's an ace for Alicia. Natalie hits that one out of bounds. That's a point for Durand. Alicia goes out. The libero Katie comes in. Durand has 20. Hudson has 17. That's a kill by Natalie. Substitution being made. Kirsten's coming in for Rachel. Jennifer's coming in for Lindsay. Durand has 20. Hudson has 18. The next server is Kirsten. Morgan taps that one over the net for a point. Nice try there by Hudson. The ball does drop down. Durand has 21. Hudson has 19. Drops in on the Hudson side. That drops in on the Hudson side also. Timeout being called by Coach Sadoff. Hudson has taken 2 timeouts. Durand won this game. That point is by Natalie. Substitution being made. Cammie is coming in for Natalie. The next server is Cammie. That's an ace for Cammie. Hudson has 21. Durand has 23. Point for Durand. Substitution being made on Durand for Durand. This is game point for Durand. They have 24. Hudson has 21. That's a kill for Kat. Substitution being made for Durand. This is still game points for Durand. They have 24. Hudson has 22. Kat finds the back corner for a point. Hudson has 23. Durand has 24. This is still game point for Durand. You must win by 2. Cammie sinks that one into the net. That is game for Durand. They have 25. Hudson has 23. There'll be a brief timeout while the players switch sides. Game 2 is about ready to begin between Durand and Hudson. Amber was the first server, and that ball went out of bounds. Durand is on the board first. This is a non-conference game. I believe we will be playing the best of 3. Rachel hits that ball out of bounds. Durand's serve fails to get over the net. Durand has 2. Hudson has 1. The next server is Kat. That overpass is taken care of by Alicia. The score is tied at 2. Kat continues to serve. Block at the net by Durand. Dispute being made, and they're saying she was over the net before the ball crossed the plane of the net, which you cannot do. So players will revert to their last positions. Hudson has 3, Durand has 2, and Kat is still serving. Ball Durand is serving, even though Durand's block was hit out of bounds. Rachel blasts through the block for a point. Hudson has 4. Durand has 3. Libero has gone out. Morgan has come in, and Alicia is serving. That's an ace for Alicia. That's a kill for Natalie. Hudson has 6, Durand has 3. Morgan fails to get that one over the net. Point for Durand. Alicia goes out. The libero Katie comes in, and Durand is serving. That's an ace for Durand. Hudson has 6. Durand has 5. Drops in on the back corner. It's a point for Durand. The score is tied at 6. Drops in on the Hudson side. Durand has taken the lead. They have 7. Hudson has 6. That's a kill for Rachel. Rachel and Amber go out. Jennifer and Lindsay come in. They're saying Morgan was over the net before the plane of the ball. That leads a point for Durand. Kat is talking to the up ref. Kat Malin and Rachel Sadoff are the 2 captains. Those are the only 2 that can approach the up ref and discuss a play. And now the down ref and the up ref are conferring. They are still saying Morgan was over the net. And substitutions being made for Durand. Durand has 8. Hudson has 7. Durand has 8, Hudson has 7, and Durand is still serving. Morgan gets that point. The score is tied at 8. The next server is Natalie. That's a kill for Kat. Hudson has 9. Durand has 8. That's an ace for Natalie. Lift being called on Durand. Point for Hudson. So Natalie is still serving. Hudson has 11, Durand has 8. A lift being called on Durand. Morgan blocks at the net for a point. Hudson has 13, Durand has 8. Ball is hit out of bounds by Durand. That's a point for Hudson. Timeout is being called by Durand. Timeout is over. Natalie is still serving. Kat fails to get that one over the net. Point for Durand. Hudson has 14, Durand has 9. That's an ace for Durand. Drops in on the Hudson side. Player in the net on the Hudson side. It's point for Durand. Hudson has 14, Durand has 12. Four hits on the Hudson side, a point for Durand. Ball is heading out of bounds. Point for Hudson. Hudson has 15, Durand has 13. Morgan goes out, Alicia comes in. That's an ace for Katie. Ball is hit out of bounds by Durand. Point for Hudson. It's a kill for Cat. Hudson has 18. Durand has 13. Ball is hit out of bounds, went around the outside of the antenna. It's a point for Hudson. Hudson has 19. Durand has 13. It's a kill for Cat. Lift. It's a point for Hudson. Hudson has 21. Durand has 13. Hudson needs to win this game to take it to 3. If Durand comes back and wins, the match will be over. Hudson unable to get that one over the net. Point for Durand. Hudson has 21, Durand has 14. Durand fails to get that one over the net. Point for Hudson. Substitution being made. Rachel and Amber are coming in for Jennifer and Lindsay. Next server is Amber. Player in the net on the Durand side. Point for Hudson. Hudson has 23, Durand has 14. Net serve by Amber. Point for Durand. Ball is hit out of bounds by Natalie. A point for Durand. Net serve by Durand. Hudson has 24. This will be game point for Hudson. The next server is Kat. Substitution was being made by Durand. Hudson has 24. Durand has 16. Ball is hit out of bounds by Durand. The second game is won by Hudson with the final score of Hudson 25, Durand 16. We will need to play a third game to determine the winner of the match. The captains, Rachel and Kat, will go up with the captain of the Durand team. The determination is one team will pick to serve or not, and the other team will pick which side of the court they want to be on. So the ref is looking for a quarter. Oh, the up ref has one. Nope, I guess the down ref just found hers. Somebody will call it. With that determination, Hudson will be serving first. Durand has picked the other side of the court. There'll be a brief timeout before the third game of the match begins. Third game of the match is about ready to begin. Durand has chosen to serve first. Cat hits that ball out of bounds. Durand is on the board first. Ball is hit out of bounds. On the block, a point for Durand. Player in the net on the Hudson side. Durand has 3, Hudson has 0. That's a kill by Kat. The winner of this game will be the winner of the match. This game will only go to 15, must win by 2. The next server is Kat. Lack of communication on the Durand side. The ball just drops in. Hudson has 2, Durand has 3. I cannot get the servers in at this angle. Lift on the Durand side, trying to pull that ball back up. That's a point for Hudson. Kat continues to serve. Ball was hit out of bounds by Durand. Hudson has 4, Durand has 3. Net ball by Kat. Score is tied at 4. Some excitement on the other court. Block at the net by Rachel and Alicia for a point. The next server is Alicia. Libero has gone out. Morgan's come in. Ball is served out of bounds by Alicia. The score is tied at 5. Alicia goes out. Katie comes in. Ball is hit out of bounds. Point for Durand. Overpass is brought down by Durand for a point. Durand has got 7 now. Hudson has 5. Nice duck by Katie. Ball was going out of bounds. Substitution, Lindsay and Jennifer are coming in for Rachel and Amber. Durand has 7. Hudson has 6. The next server is Lindsay. The ball shoots down to the floor after hitting the ceiling. And that's a point for Hudson. Durand puts that one into the net. Hudson has 8, Durand has 7. Cat hits that one out of bounds. Jennifer gets that one off the blocker's hand. The next server is Cammie. Ball drops in on the Durand side, a point for Hudson. Hudson has 10, Durand has 8. Cammie is still serving. That's a kill by Cat. Timeout being called by Durand. Once again, this game only goes to 15. Hudson has 11, Durand has 8. That one drops in on the Hudson side. Point for Durand. Lift being called on Morgan. Point for Durand. Ball is tipped out of bounds. Lindsay does some fancy footwork to avoid it. Point for Hudson. Hudson has 12, Durand has 10. Katie is the next server. Morgan has gone out and Alicia has come in. They're saying 4 hits on the Durand side, but the ball did not clear the net. So that's a point for Hudson. Ball is hit out of bounds. This is game point for Hudson. Cammie hits that ball out of bounds. Point for Durand. This is still game point for Hudson. They have 14. Durand has 11. Must win by 2. Ball is hit into the net by Durand. The game and the match are over. Final score of this game is Hudson 15, Durand 11. Hudson has won the match, 2-1. There'll be a brief timeout before the next game begins. We are about ready to begin the second match of the afternoon. This one is Hudson versus Somerset. The first server is Lindsay. Lindsay's serve is out of bounds. Somerset is on the board first. That point is by Cat. The score is tied at 1. Cat is the next server. That's an ace by Cat. Point for Durand. Score is tied at 2. Lift being called on Brittany. Somerset has 4, Hudson has 2. That one drops in on the Hudson side. Somerset has 5. Point for Somerset. That's a kill by Rachel. Katie has gone out. Morgan has come in, and the next server is Alicia. Player in the net. Morgan was in the net. Point for Somerset. Cat has gone to the up ref. The up ref is questioning the girls on the Somerset team. Jewelry is being taken off of the Somerset side. So that will be a timeout for Somerset. That will be charged to them. Somerset has 7, Hudson has 3. In high school volleyball, girls cannot wear jewelry, earrings, nose rings, rings on the fingers, bracelets, necklaces that could cause a hazard for the girl wearing them and the other team if they happen to collide and you are told to take them off. They should know better at this stage of the game. That's a point for Somerset. They have 8. Hudson has 3. That's a kill for Brittany. Substitution. Kirsten and Jennifer are coming in for Lindsay and Rachel. Next server is Kristen. And that's an ace for Kristen. Somerset has 8. Hudson has 5. That's hit into the net by Somerset. That's another ace for Kirsten. Somerset hitter fails to connect. The score is tied at 8. Ball is hit out of bounds. Substitution being made on the Somerset side. That's a kill by Morgan. Substitution. Cammie is coming in for Brittany. The next server is Cammie. That's an ace for Cammie. Hudson has 10. Somerset has 9. Ball fails to get over the net. The score is tied at 10. Player in the net on the Somerset side. Morgan goes out, Alicia comes in, and the next server is Katie. Ball fails to get over the net. The score is tied at 11. Ball drops in on the Hudson side. Ball is hit out of bounds by Jennifer. Somerset has 13, Hudson has 11. Ball finds the line for a point. That's a kill by Alicia. Substitution being made. Kirsten and Jennifer are going out, and Lindsay and Rachel are coming in. The next server is Lindsay. Ball is hit out of bounds. Somerset has 14, Hudson has 13. Drops in on the Hudson side. Point for Somerset. Somerset has 15, Hudson has 13. Ball gets over the blocker's hands. Point for Somerset. Ball is hit into the net by Somerset. Point for Hudson. The next server is Kat. Brittany is coming in for Cammie. Ball is dropped down on the Somerset side, a point for Hudson. That's an ace for Kat. The score is tied at 16. Kat puts that ball into the net. That's a kill by Rachel. The score is tied at 17. Katie goes out, Morgan comes in, and the next server is Alicia. Morgan tips that ball over for a point. That's an ace for Alicia. Hudson has 19. Somerset has 17, and Somerset has called a timeout. Somerset has taken 2 timeouts this game. Hudson 0. Alicia will continue to serve. Drops down on the Hudson side. Tip over the net by Morgan for a point. She saw the open part of the court. Substitution, Jennifer and Kirsten are coming in for Rachel and Lindsay. Next server is Kirsten. Hudson has 20. Somerset has 18. Morgan hits that one into the net. Point for Somerset. Hudson has 20. Somerset has 19. Ball finds the back corner. Somerset has tied the score. That's a kill by Morgan. Brittany goes out. Cammie comes in. The next server is Cammie. Net serve by Cammie. The score is tied at 21. That's an ace for Somerset. Somerset has 22. Hudson has 21. Timeout being called by Hudson. Somerset has taken 2 timeouts this game. Hudson 1. Somerset has 23. Hudson has 21. That's a kill by Jennifer. Morgan goes out. Alicia comes in. The next server is Katie. Ball drops in on the Hudson side. Valiant effort by a couple of them. Timeout being taken by Hudson. Both sides have taken 2 timeouts this game. It is game point for Somerset. They have 24. Hudson has 22. is a difference of opinion because Somerset had to step on the court of the team on the other court, those two teams that were playing. But the up ref is ruling that the game is going to Somerset. That was getting a little heated down there. You should not have to step on another game's court to get your ball. That is supposed to be ruled out of bounds. I'm not exactly sure what the ref thought happened, but Somerset has taken the first game of the match with the final score of 25-23. Second game is about ready to begin between Somerset and Hudson. Somerset will be serving first. Ball is hit out of bounds by Rachel. Somerset is on the board first. That's a kill for Rachel. Score is tied at 1. Brittany is coming in for Cammie. The next server is Kat. That's a kill by Rachel. Brittany fails to get that one over. The score is tied at 2. Kat finds the back corner for a point. Katie goes out, Morgan comes in, and the next server is Alicia. Somerset puts that one into the net. Point for Hudson. Hudson has 4, Somerset has 2. Redo. Ball from the other game crossed into our court. Score remains the same. Alicia will serve again. That's a kill by Rachel. Miscommunication on the Somerset side. It drops in amongst them. Point for Hudson. Drops in on the Hudson side, a point for Somerset. That's a kill by Rachel. Rachel and Lindsay are going out. Jennifer and Amber are coming in. Hudson has 7. Somerset has 3. Player in the net, under the net. On the Somerset side, that's a point for Hudson. That's an ace for Amber. Hudson has 9. Somerset has 3. Amber continues to serve. Redo. The up ref thought it was down, but it was pancaked and had blew the whistle. So now they're just going to do this as a redo. Drops in on the Hudson side. It's a point for Somerset. Substitution on the Somerset side. Hudson has 9. Somerset has 4. That's an ace for Somerset. Ball is hit out of bounds by Somerset. Point for Hudson. Substitution. Brittany is going out. Cammie is coming in. And the next server is Cammie. Hudson has 10. Somerset has 5. They're saying it rolled up Katie's arm, so that would be a lift. So that would be a point for Somerset. That's an ace for Somerset. Hudson has 10. Somerset has 7. Ball is hit out of bounds by Somerset. Point for Hudson. Morgan has gone out. Alicia has come in. And the next server is Katie. That's a kill by Jennifer. Hudson has 12. Somerset has 7. Net serve by Katie. Drops in on the Somerset side, a point for Hudson. Jennifer and Amber have gone out. Rachel and Lindsay are in. Hudson has 13. Somerset has 8. Lindsay is serving. Block at the net by Alicia. But they're saying it was 4 hits on Somerset side. Either way, it is a point for Hudson. Nice try on the Hudson side, but it does drop down. Point for Somerset. Hudson has 14, Somerset has 9. It's a kill for Kat. Brittany has come in for Cammie, and the next server is Kat. That's an ace for Kat. That's a kill for Rachel. Timeout being called by Somerset. Somerset has taken 1 timeout this game. Hudson 0. That's an ace for Kat. Fishing the ball out from underneath the bleachers. Hudson has 18, Somerset has 9. That's a kill by Brittany. Nice cross-court shot. Over the net by Brittany for a point. Hudson has 20. Somerset has 9. Kat continues to serve. That's a kill by Rachel. Kat serves that one out of bounds. Hudson has 21, Somerset has 10. double hit being called on Rachel. Nice block at the net by Brittany, but it does drop down on the Hudson side. Point for Somerset. Hudson has 21, Somerset has 12. Ball is served out of bounds by Somerset. Point for Hudson. Katie goes out, Morgan comes in, and the next server is Alicia. That's a kill by Somerset. Hudson has 22, Somerset has 13. That's a kill by Rachel. Rachel and Lindsay go out. Jennifer and Amber come in. The next server is Amber. Hit. The block is hit out of bounds. That's a point for Somerset. Substitution being made for Somerset. Hudson has 23. Somerset has 14. Ball is hit out of bounds by, nope, confusion. They are saying Somerset touched it before it went out of bounds, so the ball is Hudson's. Substitution being made. Cammie has come in for Brittany, and the next server is Cammie. And this is game point. Ball is hit into the net by Somerset. This game is Hudson's with a final score of Hudson 25, Somerset 14. This match will have to go to a third game to determine the winner. We are about ready to begin the third game of the match between the Hudson Raiders and Somerset. Hudson won the toss to serve. Somerset picked the side. Down refs are getting their paperwork in order. The other court has a timeout. Those two teams have finished their match. So we should not have any balls crossing into our court for this match, for this game of the match. This game goes to 15, must win by 2. The up ref has assumed her position. Lindsay will be the first server. That's a kill by Somerset. Somerset is on the board first. Drops in on the Hudson side. Cat hits that one out of bounds. Somerset has 3, Hudson has 0. Drops in on the Hudson side. Point for Somerset. Rachel pops that one back over for a point. Substitution. Brittany is coming in for Cammie, and the next server is Kat. Rachel manages to get that one over the net. Somerset hits that one into the net for a point for Hudson. That's an ace for Kat. Hudson has 3, Somerset has 4. That one trickles over the net for an ace. The score is tied at 4. Alicia pushes that one down for a point. Hudson has 5. Somerset has 4. Net serve for Kat. Score is tied at 5. Slips by the blockers, a point for Somerset. Four hits on the Hudson side, point for Somerset. Had to wait for some people to get into the stands so Somerset could serve. Hudson fails to get that over the net. Somerset has 8, Hudson has 5. Lift being called on Somerset. Katie goes out, Morgan comes in. The next server is Alicia. That's an ace for Alicia. Somerset has 8, Hudson has 7. Ball is hit out of bounds by Somerset. The score is tied at 8. Now they've changed their minds and they are saying there was a touch on the ball. And the point and the serve will go to Somerset. Score is tied at 8. Oh, excuse me. Somerset has 9. Hudson has 7. That's a kill by Brittany. Having some disagreements again. Hudson is being awarded the point this time. Rachel and Lindsay go out. Amber and Jennifer come in. The next server is Amber. Somerset finds a big open spot. Somerset has 10. Hudson has 8. Player in the net on the Hudson side. Point for Somerset. Drops in on the Hudson side. Timeout being called by Hudson. Timeout has ended. Somerset is serving. Drops in on the Somerset side. Point for Hudson. Brittany goes out. Cammie comes in. Somerset has 12. Hudson has 9. The next server is Cammie. Nice blocking by Morgan and Kat. Point for Hudson. That's an ace for Cammie. Timeout being called by Somerset. One timeout has been called by each side. Somerset has 12, Hudson has 11. That's an ace for Cammie. The score is tied at 12. Drops in on the Hudson side, a point for Somerset. Once again, have to wait for some spectators to get up into the seats so that Somerset can serve. That's a kill for Kat. Morgan goes out, Alicia comes in, and the next server is Katie. The score is tied at 13. Ball is hit out of bounds by Somerset. Hudson has 14. Somerset has 13. You must win by 2, so this is game point right now for Hudson. Timeout being called by Somerset. Two timeouts have been taken by Somerset, one by Hudson. Is hit on the antenna by Somerset. That is a point for Hudson. Hudson wins the game and the match. This game, a final score of Hudson 15, Somerset 13. Hudson is the winner of the match. There'll be a brief timeout before Hudson plays the third team that's here today. We are about ready to begin the third match of the day. This match is between New Richmond and Hudson. New Richmond will be serving first. New Richmond's on the board first. Ball is served out of bounds. Score is tied at 1. Natalie is coming in for Cammie. The next server is Kat. Ball is hit out of bounds by New Richmond. Point for Hudson. Trickles over the net for a point and an ace. That's another ace for Kat. Hudson has 4. New Richmond has 1. Net serve by Kat. New Richmond fails to use that overpass. Katie goes out. Morgan comes in, and the next server is Alicia. Blocked at the net by Morgan and Rachel. Point for Hudson. Hudson has 6. New Richmond has 2. Drops down on the Hudson side. hits the blockers, drops in on the Hudson side. Point for New Richmond. Hudson has 6, New Richmond has 4. The block is hit out of bounds. Point for New Richmond. Rachel hits that one out of bounds. The score is tied at 6. New Richmond hits that one into the net. Point for Hudson. Lindsay and Rachel go out. Kirsten and Jennifer come in. The next server is Kirsten. Ball is served out of bounds. The score is tied at 7. That's a kill for Morgan. Natalie goes out. Cammie comes in. There's also a substitution for New Richmond. Hudson has 8. New Richmond has 7. The next server is Cammie. That's an ace for Cammie. Player in the net on the New Richmond side. Point for Hudson. Hudson has 10, New Richmond has 7. Cat hits that one out of bounds. Tipped over the net by New Richmond for a point. Hudson has 10, New Richmond has 9. Lift being called on Hudson. Score is tied at 10. Net serve by New Richmond. Morgan goes out, Alicia comes in, and the next server is Katie. Through the blockers. Point for New Richmond. The score is tied at 11. That's a kill Alicia. Substitution being made. Lindsay and Rachel are coming in for Jennifer and Kirsten. Next server is Lindsay. That's a kill by New Richmond. Score is tied at 12. Substitution being made for New Richmond. Blocked by New Richmond. Drops in on the Hudson side. Point for New Richmond. New Richmond has 14. Hudson has 12. That's an ace for New Richmond. They find the back corner. Ball is hit out of bounds by New Richmond. Point for Hudson. Substitution. Natalie is coming in for Cammie. The next server is Kat. Four hits on the Hudson side. Point for New Richmond. Natalie puts that one into the net. New Richmond has 17. Hudson has 13. Ball was hit out of bounds by Hudson. Timeout being called by Hudson. Hudson has taken one timeout so far this game. New Richmond 0. Drops in on the Hudson side. New Richmond has 19. Hudson has 13. Drops in behind the blockers. Point for New Richmond. That's a kill by Rachel. Katie goes out. Morgan comes in, and the next server is Alicia. Player in the net on the New Richmond side. Point for Hudson. That's a kill by New Richmond. Alicia goes out. Katie comes in. fault. Substitution, Rachel and Lindsay are going out, and Kirsten and Jennifer are coming in. You cannot step on the line or in the court until you have hit the ball. Kirsten is the next server. Kirsten hits that ball out of bounds. New Richmond has 22, Hudson has 16. New Richmond gets a kill down past the blockers. Timeout being called by Hudson. Hudson has taken 2 timeouts this game, New Richmond none. New Richmond has 23, Hudson has 16. Net serve by New Richmond. Substitution. Cammie is coming in for Natalie. And the next server is Cammie. Drops in on the New Richmond side, point for Hudson. Puts that one into the net. Point for Hudson, or point for New Richmond. This is game point for New Richmond. They have 24, Hudson has 18. Ball fails to get over the net. New Richmond has taken the first game with a score of 25, Hudson 18. It'll be a brief timeout before the second game begins. We are about ready to begin the second game of the match between New Richmond and Hudson. Hudson will be serving first. It's a kill by New Richmond. A bit of collision in front of the net there. New Richmond has 2, Hudson has 0. Net serve by New Richmond. Substitution by Hudson. Brittany is coming in for Cammie. The next server is Kat. That's an ace for Kat. That ball is sent out of bounds by New Richmond. Hudson has 3. New Richmond has 2. That's a kill for Brittany. Rolls that one right along the tape. Ball is hit into the net by New Richmond. Point for Hudson. Hudson has 5. New Richmond has 2. Point for Hudson. They're saying there was a lift on New Richmond's side. Alicia pushes that one over the net for a point. Timeout being called by New Richmond. New Richmond has taken 1 timeout so far this game. Hudson has taken 0. Puts that one into the net. Point for New Richmond. New Richmond has 3. Hudson has 7. New Richmond serves that one out of bounds. Katie goes out. Morgan comes in. The next server is Alicia. Rachel hit that one out of bounds. Alicia goes out. Katie comes in. It's an ace for New Richmond. Kill for Rachel. Hudson has 9. New Richmond has 5. Substitution, Amber and Jennifer are coming in for Lindsay and Rachel. The next server is Amber. That's a kill for New Richmond. Drops in on the New Richmond side, a point for Hudson. Cammie is coming in for Brittany. The next server is Cammie. Hudson has 10. New Richmond has 6. Lift being called on the New Richmond side. Point for Hudson. That's a kill for New Richmond. Hudson has 11. New Richmond has 7. Jennifer hits that one into the net. Around the blocker. It's a kill for New Richmond. New Richmond has 9, Hudson has 11. Through the blocker's hands for a point. Timeout being called by Hudson. Hudson and New Richmond have each taken 1 timeout this game. That's a point for New Richmond. Jennifer finds the back corner for a point. Hudson has 12. New Richmond has 11. Morgan goes out. Alicia comes in. The next server is Katie. Out of rotation. Point for Hudson. Alicia hits that one into the net. Point for New Richmond. Hudson has 13, New Richmond has 12. That overpass is taken care of by New Richmond. The score is tied at 13. Point for New Richmond, drops in on the Hudson side. It's a kill for Kat. Substitution. Rachel and Lindsay are coming in for Amber and Jennifer. Lift being called on New Richmond. Point for Hudson. Four hits being called on New Richmond. That's a point for Hudson. Hudson has 16. New Richmond has 14. That's an ace for Lindsay. Timeout being called by New Richmond. New Richmond and Hudson have each taken a timeout this game. That was a kill by New Richmond. Hudson has 17. New Richmond has 15. Cami fails to get that one over the net. Point for New Richmond. Ball's hit into the net by Rachel. The score is tied at 17. Katie hits the antenna. That's ruled out of bounds. A point for New Richmond. New Richmond has 18. Hudson has 17. Tip over the net by Alicia for a point. The score is tied at 18. Substitution, Brittany is coming in for Cami. The next server is Kat. That's too low. Hit into the net by Kat. That's a kill by Brittany. Score is tied at 19. Katie goes out. Morgan comes in. The next server is Alicia. Drops in behind the blockers. Alicia goes out. Cami comes in. Alicia goes out, Katie comes in. Ball is hit out of bounds. Point for New Richmond. New Richmond has 21, Hudson has 19. Kill by New Richmond. Timeout being called by Hudson. New Richmond and Hudson have each taken 2 timeouts this game. New Richmond has 22, Hudson has 19. If New Richmond wins this game, the match will be over. If Hudson wins, it will need to go to a third game. Brittany puts that one into the net. That's a point for New Richmond. That's a kill for Brittany. Substitution. Jennifer and Amber are coming in for Lindsay and Rachel. New Richmond has 23, Hudson has 20. The next server is Amber. That's a kill for Jennifer. Blocked at the net by Jennifer and Morgan. Knocks that one back over the net for a point. The score is tied at 23. Ball is hit out of bounds by New Richmond. Hudson has 24. This is game point for Hudson. Hudson has 24, New Richmond has 23. Morgan gets that one in for a point. That is game. This match is going to need a third game to determine the winner. Be a brief timeout. We are about ready to begin the third game to determine the winner of this match between New Richmond and Hudson. New Richmond will be serving first. Net serve. Hudson is on the board first. The first server is Kat. Brittany has come in for Cammie. Ball is hit out of bounds by New Richmond. That's an ace for Kat. Net serve by Kat. Hudson has 3, New Richmond has 1. Rachel finds the open spot for a point. Katie goes out, Morgan comes in, and the next server is Alicia. Hudson has 4, New Richmond has 1. Rachel's ball fails to get over the net. Katie comes in, Alicia goes out. Hudson has 4, New Richmond has 3. That's a point for New Richmond. Morgan hits that ball out of bounds. New Richmond has 5, Hudson has 4. That's an ace for New Richmond. Timeout being called by Hudson. Hudson has taken one timeout this game. New Richmond hasn't taken any. New Richmond has 6, Hudson has 4. Four hits on the New Richmond side. Jennifer and Amber are coming in for Rachel and Lindsay. Amber is the next server. That's an ace for Amber. The score is tied at 6. That's another ace for Amber. It's another ace for Amber. Hudson has 8. New Richmond has 6. Ball is hit out of bounds by New Richmond. Timeout being called by New Richmond. Ball is hit out of bounds by New Richmond. Point for Hudson. Drops in on the Hudson side. Point for New Richmond. Substitution being made on the New Richmond side. Hudson has 10, New Richmond has 7. This game is only played to 15. You must win by 2. That's a kill for Jennifer. Substitution. Cammie is coming in for Brittany. The next server is Cammie. New Richmond goes around the blocker for a point. Pops that over pass down for a point. Hudson has 12. New Richmond has 8. Morgan's gone out. Katie is serving. That's a kill for Kat. Alicia finds the line for a point. This is game point for Hudson. Hudson has 14, New Richmond has 8. Four hits on the New Richmond side. That's game and match for Hudson, with the final score in this game of Hudson 15, New Richmond 8. Hudson has taken all 3 of their matches today in this quadrangular, with the visiting teams being New Richmond, Somerset, and Durand. Hudson would be the top team of this little tournament they had today. Thank you for joining us for the first games of the season of the 2008 Hudson volleyball season. Continuing the tradition of applauding the audience, thanking them for their support.